What's up, everybody? I'm Rick,
And I'm Anna.
and welcome to our reaction to Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 9.
Welcome.
Last time, Anna, Sasha,
Oh,
we
Sasha.
lost. We lost Sasha. We were talking about it, right? One of the, semi-background character, right? Just secondary character, but still one that was very likable, right? So it had the most impact to have.
And one that we've seen for so long also.
Yes, exactly. But when compared to the others, right, that have been there for a long time, John, Connie, uh, killing her, I feel like, has the most impact.
Right. Which is why they went for it, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. they know what they're doing, bastards. And on the other hand, we got a big surprise. Of course, Gabby was the one who killed her, and then they brought Gabby and Falvo to see Zeke, who apparently is behind,
Yes.
is helping with this whole thing.
I'm shocked. I'm still shocked by that. I mean, honestly, how, when did this happen?
Yeah, so we were terrorizing, right? I don't think that back then, when they met on the island, he was of that mind, right?
Yeah, I don't
of
think
going
so.
against Marley. But I think that now he changed his mind, and the reason being, in my opinion, he got somehow either Eren sent him, Eren brought it to him, or somehow he got the journal,
His father's journal?
his father's journal, and reading through it, reading what they did to his aunt, reading the whole story, right?
To his mother,
Yeah.
also.
Also, yeah. I think reading through it, he might have changed his mind.
Yeah. Oof.
That's my
That is a
theory.
good one. That I would totally believe that. You know, that no matter what his beliefs were before, finding out that story would have filled him with all that rage against the people who did that to his family.
Exactly. And then we also left with the question of what do we do now, right? They were obviously dragged into this by Eren, who they're now going to, I assume, lock up and, demand answers from. But he doesn't care. He got what he wanted.
Yeah.
Now they're at
And
war.
he also knows they can't keep him locked up
Locked
forever
up.
because they need
They
him.
need him, right? And he knows he's going to die anyway. So
Soon, right?
I feel
His
like
time is coming
a
up.
couple of years, but I feel like in his mind, it's like, what do I have to lose?
Right.
You kill me now, you kill me later, I die anyway. I might as well do what I want to do, and what I want to do is be free, and I can't be free as long as these people
Yeah.
are there. So that's going to be a hard one of how they get out of this whole situation. Zeke was saying now we have someone of royal blood and the founding titan. So is the solution to have Zeke eat Eren and then control?
Huh.
No, they can
They can
do
work
it
together.
separately. Yeah, that's
yeah,
what they
like when Eren touched.
exactly.
Yes.
Zeke's mom, right?
Yeah.
So because I just realized, no, if Zeke eats Eren, then he's brainwashed, right? So he shouldn't do that. But if Eren has the founding power, they can work together and then send those 1 million
Yeah.
colossal titan.
So the rumbling, they can do the rumbling.
Yeah. I wonder. That might be the plan. That might be the plan.
That would be an insane plan.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be terrible. I don't know if they'll actually get to that story-wise, but just from the point of view of the visuals of this anime, I want to see that.
A
I
million
want
colossal
to see
titans.
a million colossal titans crossing a sea and invading the mainland.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine.
Mm-hmm. I feel like when the kids were cheering for Reiner to fight and were saying, "Oh, that's usually what they do for the good guys." But then there's not really a good guy or bad guy anymore, right? Everybody is kind of just in this gray area, and it's very hard to get behind any of the sides, right? And seeing what Eren caused, it's very hard to get behind him. And then because the mainland has been so horrible to Paradise Island, but also their own people,
Yeah.
it's very hard to get behind them. So
Like, there's no one in the right here,
Yeah.
you know. And it's the kind of a situation in which you would think, like, oh, you just get behind, the people, the
Characters,
ones,
yeah.
exactly.
Mikasa, Armin.
But we have even Mikasa and Armin, they're picking a side. I mean, like the people who are like bystanders, those who have no power in this war and who get affected by it the most. But we barely
see them, yeah. But I feel like Mikasa and Armin, sure, they're picking a side by default, right?
Yeah.
Eren forced them to pick a side.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like all of them didn't want to be at war, and Eren forced their hand.
Yeah.
Well, some of them wanted to be at war. They were cheering at the end, like, this is our first victory of many. Which, I mean, we shall see. As we watch more Attack on Titan, episode 9. 3 years ago, so we get the flashback.
Okay, yeah, we get the. Okay, yeah. This is what I want to see.
It's a devil.
He kind of looks though.
Like a devil?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Look how big he is.
Come here, guys. Let's have some tea.
Oh, wow.
Mingle with filthy blood? You
What's
live with
that?
Eldians.
Yeah. Are you sure you want to say that? That's a good point. Oh.
Oh,
So
some of
it
them.
wasn't all of them.
Yeah.
I bet you didn't expect that.
It doesn't look like she did.
Yeah.
So, I was saying my theory was that he got the journal and somehow changed his mind. This doesn't seem to be the case here.
Yes.
Because we saw that some of the people on the boat, the people who were under him, presumably, were already kind of open to talking
Right.
with the Paradise Island people. Meaning, even before, he had already changed his mind.
I wonder. Yeah.
I,
Like they kind of formed their own resistance. Like a new resistance or something like this.
But then why? But maybe it's like he never changed his mind and he was always on the... But it didn't seem like
No,
it.
he seemed very much to be against the Paradise Island.
Yeah.
Think about it. In that fight on Paradise Island before, from last season, it was just him and
He
a
destroyed
handful
them all,
of like the other Titans. Like there were so few people. If he was with them, he could have done something then,
Exactly, yeah. But instead he killed them all. He caused Erwin's death, right? So I don't think back then he was on their side. So between that 1 year, because this is 3 years ago, right? So 1 year passed. What happened?
What happened? Maybe we'll find out. Oh, I mean, when you were young and innocent, kind of.
Guns, right?
Yeah.
They're not familiar. 1 million soldiers.
Wow. Yeah, that's ironic.
Yeah. They use the Titans to keep them in, but it's keeping them out also.
Yeah. I still want to know what happened to Annie. Ah, interesting.
That they're from other nations? You think that's it? No, they're not secret agents. Yeah. They're from conquered nations.
From conquered nations, yeah.
Until we met him. Zeke.
Yeah. Is that it? She's in love?
Anti-Marleyan volunteer. Under his orders.
So at that point he's already...
It's true that it would sound like a trap,
Yeah.
especially after he almost destroyed them all. Eren knows.
Eren knows, yeah.
Because if you remember, he realized that
But he
that
never
was the
said it.
solution, but he never said it because he didn't want them to drag Historia into
Yeah.
it. Yeah, he does say millions of titans.
Yeah. Wireless radio.
Ah, that's how they can tell that other ships are coming.
Yeah. And they put the ship back there.
Yeah.
Oh wow, smart.
And they fooled them into jumping off the ship too,
Yeah.
so they can capture everyone. Filthy island of filthy demons.
You're gonna love it. They learn the words that they say about them.
Why do you have dark skin?
Right.
We're getting into religion now.
Yeah.
I guess they never had time to think about these things when they only had to survive. Oh, Sasha. At least we
Oh,
get to
Sasha.
see her more.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's kind of touching.
he liked her. If you just stay here, they'll attack you, though.
Yeah.
The amount of time you would need, though, to convince the rest of the world that you're not that bad. It's generations, right?
Yeah. Nah, it won't happen in your lifetime, and it won't happen before the war.
That editing with the bullet there. Like Eren shot her in a way, right? Symbolically.
Yeah.
Because he caused all of this. I guess Eren was pushed to act quickly because Zeke only had a few years left.
Yeah. How the tables have turned.
Right? All I did was cook her food. That was enough
He
for her.
liked her. Funny.
Oh, the dad. And I guess, this whole thing really goes to show, like, given, and that's why it's so heartbreaking, like, given enough time or enough understanding, they can come together, right?
Yeah.
Like, these Marleyan people that they captured, some of them end up like, oh, they're our friend, they like us, we like them.
Yeah.
But then there are other
Exactly.
people, right? He was getting kicked earlier
Right.
just because he's a Marleyan. And the same thing happens to Heldian on the mainland. And so that's why I was saying you need generations, you need time, and they don't have the time.
Yeah, they don't have the time.
So then it's kind of the whole tragedy of this is given enough time, given enough understanding, they could come to a peaceful agreement. I'm not sure that can happen in their lifetime.
Definitely not in the lifetime of the Titans, which is very short.
Yeah. Definitely not in these, maybe, but I don't think in these 7 episodes that we have left to this final season.
So they never actually made contact with him before.
Yeah, so I don't know why
That's why Levi was so...
they don't want to let him have Eren.
Yeah,
Because this could still all be...
a trap for
Yeah.
him to get Eren.
Yeah, exactly. I still suspect them a little bit though.
Yeah.
Even though they've been so helpful, it could be a long plan, a long game. Because with the trees, he can use the gear. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, right.
Talking
It's
to
Annie.
Annie.
All that time she's still there.
I thought he was talking to the kids. And then
Okay.
he cut his hair.
Yeah.
Okay, so more information, right? We got the flashback. We kind of see what happened.
We also learned that Zeke never actually made contact with them directly.
Yeah. So then we don't know, right? There's several possibilities here. Like we were saying, either he was always on their side.
In which case, he did a hell of a job
Hiding it.
convincing everyone that he wasn't.
Yeah. B, he changed his mind in that 1 year gap, which I wonder what would have made him change
Right.
his mind. That's very RC. He is not on their side even now.
It's a plan to get Eren's founding titan.
Exactly.
The reason why I don't know, like, what Yelena said, that they're not actually, they're not Marleyans, they're just
From
from
conquered.
places.
Mhm.
Yeah. So on that hand, like, I would believe it. You know, I would completely understand why her and others like her would, want to turn against the Marleyans.
Mhm.
But I'm not sure that she's also telling the truth. Like, she could be lying.
That's true.
Or it could be the same situation like the Eldians on the mainland. That, you're prisoners now, but if you help us, you'll have a better life.
Hmm. Or it could be that, she's not lying, but she's omitting a huge part of the information. Maybe she actually hates Eldians, right?
Mm.
I'm sure Eldians had a big part in her country or wherever she came from getting conquered because they used them in war.
Right.
And so, just like a lot of the rest of the world hate Eldians, maybe she does too. And she went into that plan with Zeke to not take down the Marleyan Empire, but to take down,
The Eldians.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There could be a lot of possibilities here. And the thing is that at this point, I'm not sure what we've heard so far is true. You know? It's hard because it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, we're either missing a piece or they're lying about certain stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
or both. It's interesting seeing Annie here, right? We hadn't seen her since season 1,
Yeah.
and now she's back.
Oh, was it season 1?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
it's
I'm
been a while.
wondering, like, what type. Well, we hadn't seen her live, right? We saw her in flashbacks. I'm wondering what type of role she's going to have. Right? She's not going to stay in the crystal for the rest of the season. Right?
Right.
Interesting on that point too. She was always also kind of a reluctant participant, right? She didn't want to do all this, but she was like, "Hey, I want to go home," and
I mean, if you think of it that way, she probably still wants to go home, like to her
yeah.
father.
But I mean, once she wakes up, I don't think she'll be like, "Oh, I want to fight you guys," right?
Yeah.
She's like, "I don't really care about all of this. I'd rather go home to my dad." Right?
Right.
Because she was saying they should leave when the fourth guy got eaten, and
Yeah.
it's Reiner who convinced everyone to stay. So. Interesting. We shall see if we get more information in the next episode. If you want to see our reaction to that, I invite you to subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed already. Like this video if you did. Comment in the comment section below. Hit that notification bell too, and have a nice day.
Bye bye.